Hey beasties, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Candy, and on this channel we like to talk about all things dolls, toys, and action figure related. Hi, how are you? How did New Year's go for you? Did you eat black-eyed peas for luck, or did you just go to bed because you worked today? No shame, either way, I'm just nosy and want to know. Now, before we dissect this, I can already hear you saying, Candy, isn't that a Christmas figure? And didn't you just say in your last video that you weren't going to post anything Christmassy in January? Yes, Beastie, I did. But this figure is a ghost, and we all know ghosts are for all year round, not just Christmas. At least that's how I'm rationalizing it. But in all seriousness, today we will be taking a look at the brand new Figura Obscura Ghost of Jacob Marley figure. So let's start by taking a closer look at that box. On the front, there's a large brass door knocker over Jacob Marley's logo and the Four Horseman logo on the bottom. You can see both the Figura Obscura and Four Horseman logo as well as Jacob's disembodied head on the left side of the box. On the back of the box, there is a synopsis for the original Christmas Carol. If you would like, you can pause to read that. Before we finish looking at the box, let's go ahead and remove that wraparound cover and take a look at the art on the inside. So this can stand on its own and acts as a backdrop for your figure. The art inside is obviously the scene when Jacob Marley first shows himself to Ebenezer Scrooge and tells him of what's to come. This is further cemented by the artwork that decorates the packaging underneath. We can see all the tortured souls that Scrooge sees when he looks out his bedroom window after Jacob leaves. And then we have this nice open window on the front where we can see Jacob himself. Hi. But now that we've looked at his box, let's cut it open and dissect what's inside. And before I show you guys the figure, I did want to point out what his backdrop is inside of the box because I think it's a really cute added detail. It is his accounting firm with him and Scrooge. That is such a nice detail that they added. Just wanted to share that before we get into the figure himself. Now that we have Jacob Marley out of the box, let's go ahead and take a look at the impressive amount of interchangeable pieces and accessories that he comes with. The interchangeable pieces include the secondary head sculpt for when the kerchief has been removed. You can see his jaw has become dislocated and now hangs down. And then with this set, we get 3 sets of interchangeable hands that range from expressive to clasped. And then also included in this set, we get a set of 2 brass door knockers that feature the 2 different facial sculpts that we have from Marley. These are both very nicely painted as well. You can see some green oxidization on there. These pieces at the bottom do move. And then if we turn it around, on the back side of both of them, you can actually attach this to a set if you'd like. They are meant to be used as real door knockers. And then alongside those, he does come with this bag of individual keys that can be attached to the chain harness that he comes with. And then speaking of that chain harness, here it is off of the figure so we can take a better look at the details because there is an impressive amount that have been put onto this harness itself. You can see all these rivets in the front. There's like these leather straps. We have a nice silver lock in the front. And we have these chains hanging off the side. Now you'll notice each chain is made of a different size and length, and each one is adorned with different pieces. So on the sides here, he has his ledgers, and there's a bunch of keys and locks hanging off of these ones. This front chain here is all just keys and locks. And then this one on the side here, over by his other shoulder, has some locks, some keys, another ledger book. And then in the back, we can see more of that nice detail work. There's these nice little clasps up here, another lock in the back. They all connect down here. And then down here, you'll see that he has all of these little accounting lock boxes. And each of these individually open and close. There's a little green one. There's a little silver one. I'm not going to open each one. As you can see, they're all different colors, all different sizes and shapes. And each chain that corresponds to them is a different size and length than the other ones. And then if we take a look at the thickest and longest chain, that actually connects to the safe that drags behind him. Which I really like the amount of detail that's on this safe. You can see all of the nice detailing there. It's got little wheels on the bottom that have been painted. The front of it does open and close. Now that we've taken a look at all the interchangeable pieces and accessories, let's go ahead and look at Marley himself. So Marley does stand at about 7 inches tall, which I think is the norm for Figura Obscura figures. This one being my first, I'm not 100% on that. They may range in sizes depending on their pieces. But anyway, let's go ahead and look at him in a little more detail. Let me pull him closer here. So you can see when I pull him closer, he is this nice light blue color. His eyes are a glossy white. There is a bit of decomposition on his forehead. And his hair is this nice ashy gray color that is slightly pliable, so it does bend a little bit at the ends. And he does have that nice white kerchief that's been tied at the top. And then if we move on down to his clothes, he's wearing this nice cravat in the front. It does slightly move up and down whenever you decide to take his head off. You will notice a bit of movement there. And if we move down from there, he is wearing this nice light blue coat that ends up becoming translucent towards the bottom. It's got all these silver buckles. It's got gray rolled up cuffs with more of those buckles. And there's a nice worked texture into that as well. And then underneath that, he's wearing a darker blue vest with a dark blue belt and silver buckle. There are some white buttons that go up the front of it as well. And again, it is textured. I believe every piece on him is textured. There's his gray pants. Nothing different or special about those, just textured pants. And then if we go all the way down, he is wearing these nice boots that become a translucent plastic at the bottom. You can see they also have rolled up cuffs, just like the sleeves. And they're this slightly ashy gray color. So now that we've taken a look at Jacob, let's go ahead and take a look at his articulation. So he does have movement at the head. It's not the best movement, but he is a newer figure, so it may take a little while for that to kind of work its way out. See, move it side to side, slightly up and down, not much though. And then he does have movement at both shoulders, so they do go out. Mine, again, is still a bit stiff from being new out of the packaging. And then he has movement at his elbow. And there is movement at the wrist. I believe there's some swiveling that can happen here as well. And whenever I move that, you can see that he has a waist articulation that goes up and down. There's a few different spots where he's articulated at the leg. There's one at the hip where it can slightly swivel. Again, mine is very stiff from being out of the box, so you're not going to get much out of there yet. And then his knee does bend, and there is a swivel joint at the ankle. So now that we've taken a look at Marley, I'm going to go ahead and get him put back together, and I can go ahead and give you guys my final thoughts on this figure, and if I plan on purchasing any more of these going forward. Be back in a sec. Before we do move on to my final thoughts, I wanted to show you guys the surprise that's inside the safe. I have already taken mine out, so I know what it is, but in case you don't want to know or you want to keep it hidden until you purchase this for yourself, I will leave a timestamp down below so that you can scroll ahead onto my final thoughts. But if you do decide to stick around, I am going to unveil what it is. So if you open it up, you will find a plastic baggie containing this additional head sculpt. Take it out of there. Which is this. It's a skull. It looks like it's been bronzed over. You can see on the bottom it is another head sculpt, so it can be interchanged. I don't really feel like it fits Marley's theming, so I'm not going to be putting it on him. But it does look really nifty. There's this nice chain that hangs down, and there's a lock at the bottom. When I pulled it out, I was very confused. I had to go and look up a few videos to see if anybody else knew what this was for. I still don't know. I feel like it might have just been an additional added on bonus for the set. But if anybody actually does know what this goes to or what it's hinting at even, please let me know down below. This is, of course, my first figure from Figura Obscura, and this may just be something that they do that I'm unaware of. But anyway, let's move on with the rest of the video. So, as I've mentioned, this is my first time buying from Figura Obscura. Well, technically, I didn't buy it. This was a gift from my mother for the holidays. And I gotta say, I love the amount of detail that was put into this figure. It is honestly one of the most impressive figures I have purchased this year. And I did go on a bit of a bender where I was getting quite a few different figures. But I can only really compare it to the detail that I have seen on Mezco 112 collective figures, where there's just, it's so immersive and there's so much to look at and to play with and to like photograph. And I honestly love that. I am here for that. And I cannot wait to get my hands on more of these figures. If anybody has any suggestions on which one to pick up next, I've really been looking at the Mask of the Red Death because that one just looks insanely cool to me. But if you have a favorite, or if you're new to collecting these like I am, let me know down below what your thoughts and feelings are on these guys, because I am definitely interested. And with that, that ends out my review of the Figura Obscura Jacob Marley action figure. If you guys do want to support the channel, feel free to go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. Any little bit helps. And if you want to offer anything monetary, or if you want to see me review something specific, I do have my Ko-fi link down below where you can buy me a coffee and reach out to me. And as always, if you want to be notified of all my latest uploads, go ahead and click that bell icon notification. And I will see you guys all in my next one. Bye!